Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about Andrew Cuomo, who, since the pandemic has kind of started and since becoming the governor of New York, has become one of the most, I would say, popular government figures in the United States. Now, there's been a great deal of controversy around him, and there's also been a lot of support around him, but today we're talking about something pretty serious. If you didn't know, Andrew Cuomo has been accused of sexual harassment during his job by multiple different women. There are stories that have been detailed, and this has been a thing that's been going on for months now, but an investigation was done into it. A 165-page report, might I add, from the New York State Attorney General that claims that the third-term Democrat governor of New York was responsible for some pretty disgusting stuff, so we're going to go ahead and just get right on into it here. Governor Andrew M. Cuomo sexually harassed multiple women, including current and former government workers, breaking state and federal laws and engaging in a pattern of unwanted touching and inappropriate comments, according to a much-anticipated report from the New York State Attorney General Letitia James, released on Tuesday. The 165-page report said that Mr. Cuomo, a third-term Democrat, and his aides cultivated a toxic work culture in his office that was rife with fear and intimidation and helped enable, quote, harassment to occur and created a hostile work environment. The report included at least 2 previously unreported allegations of sexual harassment from women who accused Mr. Cuomo of improperly touching them, including an unnamed female state trooper and an employee of an energy company, and it highlighted at least one instance in which Mr. Cuomo and his aides retaliated against one of the women who made her allegations public. Quote, Governor Cuomo sexually harassed current and former state employees in violation of both federal and state laws, Ms. James said. The independent investigation found that Governor Cuomo harassed multiple women, many of whom were young women, by engaging in unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments. Ms. James said that the report revealed a, quote, deeply disturbing yet clear picture and that conduct that corrodes the very fabric and character of our state government and shines light on injustice that can be present at the highest levels of government. Shortly after the release of the report, the Albany County District Attorney David Soares said in a statement that his office was conducting an investigation into Mr. Cuomo's behavior. So, this is actually a bombshell report. Being the governor of New York, obviously, is an extremely important position to hold, and while there's no excuse really ever to be doing the things that have been alleged, what we're seeing from this investigation is downright disturbing, okay? We're not talking about a guy, you know, drunk at the bar, who may say 1 or 2 inappropriate things and then stop when he's kicked out. We're talking about somebody who was in power to basically make decisions for an entire state of people, being accused of all kinds of different things by multiple different people, okay? And an investigation by the state itself determined that these things were true and that these, you know, testimonies against him were accurate, okay? So, unwanted groping, kisses, hugging, and by making inappropriate comments. Once again, not just a guy saying something stupid once, slipping up, making a mistake. We're talking about somebody who was unwanted, making physical contact with people, kissing people, that's weird. Hugging people without consent is weird. Making these odd comments all the time, pretty weird. Groping people, literally just assaulting people at that point, man. Absolutely disgusting what's come out in this report, and for someone who has actually come out and, you know, criticized this kind of behavior in the past publicly, and even said that if found, I guess, guilty, or if the report came out and confirmed these things, that they would take action against themselves. So far, Andrew Cuomo has not announced anything as of me recording this video, and for my knowledge, has not even reacted. So this actually goes a lot deeper here, and I want to go ahead and continue. The findings of the report could fuel support for impeachment proceedings against Mr. Cuomo in the state legislature, which Democrats overwhelmingly control, lead to additional calls for his resignation, and influence public opinion as he considers running for a 4th term. Outside lawyers hired by the Assembly's Judiciary Committee are currently looking at not only the sexual harassment claims, but a series of scandals with a common theme: whether or not Mr. Cuomo abused his power while in office. So this indicates that there may have been other sorts of power breaches used by Mr. Cuomo in order to get his way that weren't related to the sexual harassment claims that we're seeing here. Now, Mr. Cuomo has had sort of, I guess, controversies surrounding his actions as governor before. His handling of the COVID-19 pandemic was looked over massively under the spotlight, and he was widely criticized for his inaction that led probably at least, to a lot of New York citizens ending up getting sick and dying when they, could have avoided it. Underreporting in numbers have been alleged, all kinds of crazy things surrounding that, but members of his party openly turned on him, raising questions about his capacity to govern and calling on him to resign. The State of Assembly launched a broad impeachment investigation to scrutinize, among other issues, the governor's handling of nursing homes during the pandemic, which federal prosecutors also began to investigate. Mr. Cuomo saw his once soaring approval ratings sink, his fundraising numbers take a hit, and a list of potential challengers expand as he eyes a run for a fourth term next year. Yet despite the profound political backlash, Mr. Cuomo has refused to step down. Mr. Cuomo has repeatedly denied many of the claims and any deliberate wrongdoing, apologizing for interactions that may have made women, quote, feel uncomfortable. In late February, Lindsey Boylan, a former economic development official in the Cuomo administration, became the first woman to outline her claims against the governor. Ms. Boylan said that Mr. Cuomo suggested they play strip poker on a plane while on a work trip, and said the governor kissed her on the lips in his Manhattan office. So, once again, claims are absolutely disturbing to say the least, and if true, this guy probably should be in jail. Like, not even just, hey, let's impeach him. I mean, if it's gone to this level, and as the investigation has found and claims to be true, it's criminal in nature what this guy's done. I mean, it goes beyond just morality here, and it becomes a point of like, hey, legality. This guy is doing fucking insane, absurd things with his power. He's assaulting and manipulating people. It's insane, right? Like, these people are elected to benefit people, to like help them, the position that they're in, and that Cuomo has apparently abused, according to this investigation, is a position that, of course, holds a lot of power, but there's also a lot of responsibility to be, an ethical and moral human being. And of course, the government is rife with pieces of absolute human garbage, but the whole point of that job is you're not supposed to be, right? Like, you're supposed to be a leader by example, not just by saying, hey, I didn't do this, right? You shouldn't have to even be in this kind of situation at all. But I want to go ahead and highlight some tweets from Andrew Cuomo that I think have come out to be quite hypocritical and frankly should be kind of looked at regardless now that this has all happened. So, 2017 brought a long overdue reckoning where the pervasive poison of workplace sexual harassment was exposed by brave women and men who said this ends now. Our challenge in government is to turn society's revulsion into reform. There must be zero tolerance for sexual harassment in any workplace, and we can and will end the secrecy and coercive practices that have enabled harassment for far too long. The recent revelations about sexual assault and harassment pervasive in our society are most disturbing. We are leading the way forward with the nation's most comprehensive reform package. This behavior must end. And at a time where labor is already under attack, the Supreme Court's decision will allow companies to severely restrict the options their employees have to fight back against workplace violations like racial discrimination and sexual harassment. So, he's all about talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, it's really bad that you guys are doing this, man. But then, he's got a dozen cases where people are basically accusing him of doing the same fucking thing. So I think that that's pretty insane, right? So, I mean, of course, the guy doing this kind of stuff isn't going to come out like, hey, maybe we should give these sexual predators another chance. They're not going to be like that, of course, but to be so out and loud about, hey, these women don't deserve this, we got to end this kind of shit in our society, and then, there's a state report saying that you're doing the same fucking thing, right? Obviously, that's going to be a pretty hot button topic, but realistically, I think some of the largest bombshells in all of this are already out of the way. I mean, these are mortars that were fired a year ago, you know what I'm saying? But something came out on Twitter that I thought was absolutely crazy. So, what you're about to take a look at is an email from February 28th, 2021 at 3:20 p.m., which is a written statement that was sent to Chris Cuomo, who is the brother, I believe, of Andrew Cuomo, and is an anchor at CNN on television, and many other people. It's essentially a pre-written statement from late February of this year, where the statement is to address the claims being made. So basically, these people wrote a statement for this motherfucker to give to the public about what happened. Go ahead and take a look. Questions have been raised about some of my past interactions with people in the office. I spend most of my life at work, and colleagues are often also personal friends. I never intended to offend anyone or cause any harm. Sometimes I'm playful and make jokes. You've seen me do it at briefings hundreds of times. My only desire is to add some levity and banter to what is a very serious business. I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways that I never intended. I'm sorry and feel deeply embarrassed about that. Separately, my office has heard anecdotally that some people have reached out to Miss Bennett to express displeasure about her coming forward. My message to anyone doing that is you have misjudged what matters to me in my administration and you should stop now, period. Nothing says, hey, I'm sorry about what I did, like a pre-written statement from somebody else that they made for you back in February for shit that's been accused against you, right? May have been a little insensitive to say some of the shit that I said. Hey, bitch, let's play some strip poker on this plane to the fucking job site that we're going to. You know, I never intended to make anyone feel bad. Hey, I'm gonna kiss you on the lips unconsensually, bitch, come here. Like, it's absolutely insane. This man has to resign, and I honestly think maybe even face criminal charges in all of this. I mean, if the state investigation deems that what he did was, like, true in these accusations here, then I think that there's enough evidence to charge this man criminally. But, you know, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shop Opti down below. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, calling for Andrew Cuomo to resign and signing out.